In this video, we're going to learn about how to read notes in the treble clef. So before we talk about a treble clef, we first need to understand what a stave is. Simply put, a stave is what we use to write music. We draw treble clefs on the stave, and it is just a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces. So what is a treble clef? This symbol is a treble clef, and it is drawn on a stave to show notes of a high pitch. We get loads of instruments that have a high pitch, but 2 examples include a flute and a violin. We use the treble clef to write music for these types of instruments. So let's have a look at some of the notes that we can find written in the treble clef stave. We can start on C, which is the note with the little line through it, and work our way all the way up to a G, which lives above the stave. In music, we only use the letters A to G, and in this example, although we've started on a C, everything is alphabetical. Once we get to G, we simply start over again with A, and then we work our way alphabetically forward. It might seem like a lot of notes, but there's some really simple ways to remember each note and where it lives. Firstly, we'll start with middle C. It is the simplest note to identify because it's drawn underneath the stave and it gets its own special line. Next, we have a look at some line notes. Line notes are called line notes because of where they are written on the stave. They have the line going directly through the center of the note. We start on E and then we work our way up to G, B, D, and F. Now, you've simply skipped one letter each time, but if that's still not easy enough for you to remember, then the little phrase, "Every good boy deserves Fanta," will help you to remember the order in which we name our line notes. Let's have a look at an example of how to name our line notes using this phrase. First, we count which line our note lives on. We always count from the bottom line going upwards. This note lives on line number 3. We then say our phrase to find what the third word is. So every good boy deserves Fanta is the phrase, and the third word of the phrase is boy. Boy starts with the letter B, so that means that our note that lives on line number 3 is B. Next, we're going to take a look at some space notes. There are 4 space notes. The letters are F, A, C, and E, and they spell the word face. So a nice easy way to remember the word for space notes is because face and space rhyme with one another. Let's do an example on how to name a space note. Firstly, we find out which space our note lives in. Counting from the bottom space up, it's space number 2. We then think about the word face and figure out what the second letter of it is. The second letter is A, and that means that our note that we are shown is the letter A. So a quick recap, if you think there are too many notes to remember, it feels a bit overwhelming, just think about the phrase "every good boy deserves Fanta" for line notes and "face" for space notes, and this will help you to know where each note lives, which number space or which number line the note has been drawn on. Let's do a quick practice to see if you can name our space notes. Try to name each note as quickly as you can. The answers will show after all the notes have appeared, but you can pause the video if you need. Think about the word face to help you. Next, let's do a line note practice exercise. Try and name them as quickly as you can, or you can pause the video if you need a bit more time. Think about the phrase "every good boy deserves Fanta" to help you name the notes correctly. And finally, let's do a mixed practice. There will be line notes and space notes. Think about the phrase and the word to help you name them correctly. And a quick bonus question. Can you remember the name of this note? And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this makes naming notes in the treble clef a little bit easier.